Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to a brand new day. My name is William Michael Forbes. This is Shortcuts for Your Soul. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. Today, I have with me the energy of a group called the Divine Collective, who want to talk about how the world is shaken. And before we get too far into that, I want to extend my prayers and hopes and wishes for all the people in Myanmar and Thailand that have been affected by the movements of the earth that have happened out there and other places as well. Humanity does not seem to understand something, and it's really important that you do. That your thoughts, your emotions cause effects in your life. Your thoughts and your emotions cause effects in your lives. Not just your own life, but the lives of those that share this planet with you. Humanity is quite expanded in its numerical value according to your human sciences. And this is not a bad thing. There's lots of room for everybody here and more. But not enough of you understand that your effects upon the environment are not simply happening through your physical interaction with it, but that your emotions and your thoughts bear an effect upon this environment that you may not be aware of. You hear a loud bang or a sudden noise and your body will jump. A person walks into a room and they do not speak a word, but you feel at ease or uncomfortable at their approach. You see, individually and collectively, you emanate energy according to the nature of your thoughts, which in turn generates and stimulates and feeds that energy system around you. So if you propagate an act of violence from one to another, it is not localized to that event, although from the perception of your senses, it may appear to be that way. Your thoughts and acts of violence emanate out into the space of time around you, what some of you call the aether, the invisible field, the electromagnetic field. So do not think that your acts of violence or your acts of love have no effect or influence upon the events of others upon this planet. You emanate into the world around you what you carry in your mind, what you hold in your heart. And it affects and interacts with everything else. It is why you see such a diminishment of other organic life forms on this planet that are choosing to leave this dimension of polluted anger and hatred that has been brewing for several thousand years. Now it is culminated to a flowering of activity that inclines you to despise and loathe one another when you are encouraged to love and honor one another for very good reason. You weren't told to love one another as a command that you must do it. It was given to you as a reminder that love has a very impact upon your life, as does anger. The idea to love one another was because it was not just for you between those that you love and know, but that function of your consciousness affects each and every one of you on this planet and the planet itself. Do you think that a child tugging at a mother's skirt does not get the attention of the mother? Well, of course it does. And you do not understand this yet, that when you're angry or enraged or greedy, or you objectify others, most of you do not care to think that you are influencing a much greater sphere of life. The planet and all other life forms, including yourselves, are intimately, exquisitely held together in this minute fabric of time and space you call Earth. It was said to you another time by other brothers and sisters that this space and time is influenced by all of you collectively and individually. As you nurture your hatred, you nurture destruction. Not only for yourself and those who are the object of your hatred, but for yourself as well. The vibrational function of hatred and rage and anger, violence, will beget more of itself. Whereas the actions of love and compassion, truth and gratitude beget something else again. And many of you have no understanding of the correlation between how human consciousness interacts with time and space and matter on a subtler level than the overt actions you observe with your senses. The vast majority of you have no understanding that the emanation of your emotion influences so much more. That life has diminished on this planet in many respects. It degrades with your hatred and your anger. It degrades with your self-deprecation. It degrades with uncontrolled negative emotion. And you do not realize that the functional shifts and changes that occur in matter first occurred in your energy. You see before you catastrophic events that will increase if you do not decrease the emanation of your rage and your anger. That will decrease if you increase your expressions and manifestations of love and compassion. And it is unfortunate that the vast majority of you do not understand this. That you do not understand that your anger and your hatred influence the physical world around you, the great earth upon which you move and breathe in that body. And you think that catastrophes such as what you observed in the continent you call Asia, you think that catastrophe is separate from all of you. It is not. It is a part of you. And so many of you in positions of authority calling for violence and aggression, not realizing the broader ramifications of such energy offered into this world of creation. You think that if you harm a person before you, that it does not have a greater influence upon the world around you. You are incorrect if you believe so. It is not your technology or your industrial evolution that is doing great harm to the planet, as you might believe. It is your uncontrolled emotional emanations that induce influences and changes into time, space, and matter, as that is the nature and function of your creative consciousness. And it is building up, unfortunately, to an unfavorable degree. And those that you would offer aid to in their suffering in Asia, whom are worthy and deserving of it, are not separate from your own expressions of rage or righteous self-indignation, venomous or vitriolic activities and words to each other, are all part of this same ecological system of creation that you call your life in this world. Your emotions interact dynamically with everything around you. Not something, but everything. Your thoughts, your emotions emanate into time and space. They're not simply located as sound waves with a restricted movement of time and space according to laws of your conventional physics. Indeed, your emotions go far beyond the scope of their immediacy to your own mind and body. And it is only from the immediacy of your own mind and body that you can alter and change this function of action that you are collectively setting in motion with your greed, with your anger, with your judgment, with your lack of love towards one another. And love is not about the acquiescence of your life to another. Love is about the ennobling of life. Many of you claim to be in service to the good of others, while simultaneously offering to harm and hurt those that would stand against you. You would speak of love, but know nothing of its function in your actions. Your violence is not restricted to one point of time and space. Your thoughts do not sit idle in your mind when you give them attention. The moment you place your attention upon your thoughts, you initiate a function of creation, every one of you. Every human capable of holding a thought in their mind is capable of inducing change and transformation into this world. And we felt it was very important to come forward to articulate this understanding that the world is shaken not against you, but by you. You reap what you sow. And the function of your rage and your anger induces changes into the very fabric of matter, time, and space. And you think that only what you see with your eyes or hear with your ears matters to you. And so you do not care that when you are angry, how it might affect another miles away or even on the other side of the planet. And it is very important that you understand this. You were told, love one another with good cause and good reason. That love was not something that would only influence or affect those around you immediately. While it does that also, it simultaneously radiates out like a wash of goodness upon this world. Through the forests, the air, the waters, your love radiates out and induces transformation and change according to that love. And simultaneously, your fear and your anger do the same. Your guilt and your shame, do the same. Your playfulness and curiosity, do the same. They are not localized. They are part of an intimate electrical interaction of creation dynamics that works between all of you in this dimension. All of you. It is why you're also told, love even the least of me. For that love has an influence, as does your disdain and your judgment. And so you will see the world be shaken more if you continue to assert your violence and your aggression. You will continue to see it shaken. You are shaking the very foundations of your own world with your rage, your lack of respect and compassion and kindness for each other. And you were given very simple laws that would have made it a much different situation for yourselves right now. And we're here because it is not too late to change what you are doing, what you are thinking, and therefore what you are experiencing and being. And we're here because we are hopeful that you can hear these words and share them with others. It is not enough to simply speak a word like love, but to know its essence, to know that when you say, I love you, I honor you, I cherish you, to not have these as but words, but a knowing of the profound, infinite potential of that function for the goodness of those to whom you would extend it, including yourself. That you can come to know that love does not flip like a coin in the air, changing from one moment to the next. I will love this one, but I will not love this one. That is not love. That is ignorance. And so you find yourself now safe, many of you, in the illusion that something that has occurred in a very different place upon your planet has nothing to do with you, you think. And yet, if you look at the greed and the power, the fear and the anger that is propagated, a great battle is underway, so to speak, between love and fear upon this planet. And you must discern the difference, because love is not simply a word, it is a function of action that gives rise to very specific mannerisms of behavior. It is very specific how love functions. And so it's very easy to see those of you that are fooling yourselves and saying, oh, we love one another, and then hating another in the same sentence. Love has no contradiction in the function of itself. It does no harm. It hears, it listens, it reasons. It is patient, it is kind, it is compassionate. It is imaginative, it is creative. And it understands the difference between truth and lie very easily. It is to define what love is. Very easily is to define what rage or anger is. This beautiful, beautiful world is a gift to you all. And many of you do not even understand that this is not of your own making. Not one amongst you in this world has made this world, but you live upon it. and you do not cherish nor treasure the gift, not only of the world, but of all the creatures and all of your brothers and sisters that are here. Many of you view your existence here as some form of a punishment rather than an opportunity that gave you the chance to experience the wonders of love and creation. As equally as you get the freedom to create devastation and destruction, and from which hopefully you will have learned. Unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case, as another 2,000 years have passed since you were offered the same considerations, and you have not done so well in this simple task to love one another. In your religious fervor, you would deny God in the form of others. It is very unfortunate that so few of you understand the greater implications of your thoughts and your actions. It is quite tragic from a human perspective when you do not understand that the actions of your thoughts, your words, your emotions are not localized to you alone. And it's easy when it's immediate to you. And that is often how many of you, unfortunately, have learned in the past, through catastrophe and calamity that has reoccurred when you have fallen from grace sufficiently enough that you cause events in the experience of your world through your selfishness and your anger and your hatred and your greed, that the mother simply shakes you away again. This is universal truth, that you affect the very fabric of time and space with your thought and your emotion. You affect the whole of this. All of you cannot escape your participatory role in this. And you may remain unconscious and ignorant, but you will certainly not be able to ignore the effects of your own causes when they arrive at your doorstep. Nor will those who experience it before you. There's no place upon this planet where there is a function of coincidence or accident or any random nature to calamity. This is a creative dynamic in which you all find yourself. This is a creative dynamic in which you find yourself. And each and every one of you participating in it because you are here to do so. And as you see the signs in the sky, the shaking of the earth, the behaviors of the planets and the stars around you, do not ever think for a moment that you are separate from these things. The illusion of separation precipitated by your body is not the truth of things. And so you may lay in the comfort, or at least the illusionary comfort, of your physical body not being troubled by what occurs all around you. But you cannot escape the eventual outcome of your participation in it. And even if you sit in quiet criticism of others, you are causing an effect. Your anger and rage, even if it is justified, still has a function and an influence in this dimension. And so you must understand why you were charged with the consideration, love one another. Because it is not just for you or the object of that love, but for all of you here, that this entirety of this world dances with you and you with it. If you dance upon the floor with another and you step upon their feet, it is often very uncomfortable. And when you step out of love, you step on the feet of that beautiful, life-giving function called love. Do not think that you are separate from what you observe in the skies or see upon the earth or observe in the seas. What you observe on the planets or the stars around you, you are part of it. Your thoughts, your emotions, your soul, you're part of it. Loving one another does not mean being passive, or it simply means that you honor and cherish the creative nature of your neighbor. And you're filled with, of course, the conundrum of how then, if these individuals do such terrible things, how then can I love them? That becomes the challenge you face now. You were given systems of law to try and create a guideline. You were given systems of understanding the inner workings of the human mind and now the human soul to help you comprehend forms of communication, information that could precipitate healing and growth in the individual, that they might begin to find their purpose for being and function accordingly. For if any one of you is living in the purpose of your being, you would not be unhappy. And you know this, all of you know this, that if you knew what you were here to do, you would not be unhappy. Every one of you innately knows this, the core of your being, that if you knew what you were here to do, you would not be unhappy. And the information and the knowledge has been available to your civilizations now for many hundreds of years, thousands of years, how to learn to grab your purpose and live it, to do that thing that makes your heart happy. And in your joy, you would contribute to the well-being of humanity, whether it's your brother next to you or on the other side of the world. The function of your love's expression enlivens and uplifts the whole of this world. The joy you feel in your heart contributes to the joy of the existence of this planet and its well-being. The rage in your heart likewise does the same, after its own kind, after its own fashion. Love begets very specific outcomes in time and space. Anger begets very specific outcomes in time and space. And let us assure you that if you were all doing what you love, not one of you would be unhappy. You would have moments of challenge and growth that would occur naturally as you become very adept at your execution of what you love. But you would not hate your neighbor if you were doing that which you love. Not one of you. When you operate from fear and anger and greed, you are not operating in love. And therefore, you are contributing to the detrimental functions that are occurring upon this planet right now. And so, yes, we say to you that you have all participated in these earthquakes, and you all participate in these wars, and you all participate in the violence, and you all participate in the possibilities. And most importantly, let us say this, that if you that hear these words devote your attention and your life to doing what you love, what makes your heart fill with joy, that does not keep fear as a friend, you will not live in suffering nor lack. Not one of you that were to find your true purpose, your reason for being in this existence, not one of you who found such a thing would ever be unhappy. Not one of you. Is why so many of you come to us and say, why am I here? And we will say, we understand from what we observe in your energy that it is this, and it is this, and it is this. And many of you say, oh, and you will go and do it. And many of you, more often than not, will say, I don't really believe that. And so many of you become distanced from who you are, that even when you are revealed to your own senses, this is your purpose, would deny it. But that one function, if you choose to make the pursuit of your purpose, to know your purpose, to carry it out, that there would be no greed upon this planet. And this whole world would sing with joy. And it would radiate with such an abundance of life that the members of what you call your galactic community would be quite proud to call you a brethren civilization. We articulated initially that it is very simple. You came into this world to create. You came into this world to be, to think, to manifest through love's expression, through that which lifts your heart to joy. And some have argued with us, there are those that get joy out of fighting. And there are those of us who get joy out of having everything and being in charge. And there are some of us that get joy out of hurting other people. We've heard that argument before. And we've always seen that that has not been true. That those that would inflict harm on others when it is being inflicted upon them will weep in sorrow. Oh, why are you doing this to me? Those of you that would propagate violence when it is propagated back upon you because of what you've given out to the world, cry and weep. Know that the divinity of your nature in functioning through the creative expression of love will precipitate no unnecessary suffering. You will experience the challenges of transformation and growth, which you will not suffer as you suffer now collectively. And you must learn to evaluate what is your function of love. Because your function of love will be your life's purpose. Your technology evolving, perhaps not fast enough, that you can be free from the fear of what you would eat or what you would drink. That there are ways that that can be done so that you can each pursue what you truly love. Whether you wish to be a painter or a dancer or a singer or a traveler or an explorer or a mother or a father or a daughter or a son. You came here to experience. But let us reiterate, you cannot escape that your thoughts and your actions do not remain localized to where you are. That when you are enraged and angry, that rage and anger influences the whole. Your causes and their effects are not limited to just you. So understand the world is shaken by your rage and your anger and your greed and your evil. The world is shaken by it. So do not think that there's any random series of events occurring in time and space, as this is a creative screen of creation, a canvas of manifestation. And all of you are the artists here to paint upon this canvas. Given the free will to paint as you will, good or not so good. And we are simply here to remind you that you have a choice in the matter, but that you cannot escape the effects of those choices individually or collectively. So even those who may appear to be self-righteous in their actions may also be coming from rage and anger, coloring it in a very fine appearance. One can dress very nicely, but inside be very ugly. By their fruits you shall know them. Those who are of love, things shall prosper and grow around them. And those that live in rage and anger, they shall suffer. Their teeth shall gnash and they shall wail. By their fruits you shall know them, and you cannot escape that you are all participating in it. Whether you are good or evil, you are all participating in what is now unfolding before your very eyes. Every moment of every day, you dance together in creation. You must evaluate and understand that thoughts and acts of rage and violence will not get you goodness or love or righteousness. That is all we have to say to you today. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Divine Collective. Haven't had you guys for a while. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, they've been all coming to me and saying the same thing right now, that this was a little more intense because it's right on the heels of this event that's happened in Asia. The same thing happened again in Tonga, but not on the scale that we see affecting tens of thousands, if not millions of lives in Asia. But that they've drawn a correlation for us to evaluate. That our individual thoughts and emotions, all of us, are affecting the whole of creation together. We don't live in this, we're not separate in this dance. It's really nice. I like what they said. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hi, Polly. Hi there. I'll have time for a few questions this morning. And yes. Yeah, I'm very grateful too. So tell your friends, tell your family, remind those. I mean, whether you call yourself woke or awake, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you are truly coming from love, there can be no rage. Now, the statement, a soft voice turneth away wrath. Very powerful statement. Right? It's unfortunate we're seeing this violence and aggression around the world, because it's not just happening against Elon Musk, and it's not just happening against Republicans and Democrats. It's not just happening in Ukraine and Russia. It's happening everywhere, because humanity's lost its way. We've lost our way in rage and anger and power and greed and control. And I'm so grateful that they keep reminding us of this again and again. But that you realize we affect global events, earthquakes, meteoric events. These are not random things. Nothing is random in a divine creation. Please understand that. An all-knowing intelligence, if you believe in God, if you believe in the divine entities that exist, that there are different degrees of consciousness, that there's a highly organized intelligence behind the design of all things, which I believe there is, then an all-knowing intelligence cannot make a mistake. There's nothing random about anything. It's a creative dimensional reality we live in, right? Good morning. Question from Lauren. Cardinals, robin, and many other birds around me today, do they have a message for me? Lauren, I'm told to tell you to go to look up Medicine Cards by Jamie Sams. I'm not promoting his cards. I use them myself, but Go look the meaning up of those things under his. They're native medicine cards that he's designed. Quite remarkable. And you'll find some very interesting information there for you. And yeah, they're called Medicine Cards by Jamie Sams. And look up the meaning of cardinal and robin, because there are very profound meanings to birds in native teachings. Bridget's making a comment. So these catastrophes are to teach us to come back to the energy of love. Absolutely. And yet we will respond with love. Look at all the countries that are suddenly sending all this support over to Myanmar and Thailand, where people are suffering. Think about it. Somebody walks into a room with you, right? Say where you're sitting right now, and someone would come into the room and scream, "Boo!" Your whole body would jump, right? It affects you. And that's just a sound wave affecting your physical body. Thought waves, a sound wave can be stopped. A thought wave passes through virtually anything. There's nothing that can stop a thought wave. But a sound wave can be stopped at this wall, for example. So yeah, our emotions function on a different frequency than sound. Emotion can drive the body to speak a sound or take an action, but the actual emanation of the energy of emotion radiates out in concentric spheres from the body as do thoughts. Right? Thank you. Hi. Let's see there. Question from Casey. May I have some insight into why I can't sleep well? Is it my skull causing me to wake up? I'm getting a lot of this from people that have been booking readings with me lately have been saying the same thing, having difficulty sleeping at night, not wanting to go to bed. And this is where the function of learning to train your mind and body into a different way of being. I mean, when I put my body to bed each night, I lay it down and close the eyes, and I start to speak to the mind and body and get it very quiet and calm and peaceful. And then I begin to tell it, you're going to go into a deep, deep sleep. Even if I'm only going to get a couple of hours sleep that night, I'm going to say to the body, during this sleep, you're going to be rejuvenated, refreshed, re-energized, revitalized. And I give the body energy with those thoughts to induce a change into it. Just as you can say to your hand, open, close, go up, go down. As you can give instruction to the body, you can change it. So you can tell the body to sleep for 2 hours, sleep for 8 hours. So it's not so much about there's a problem with you sleeping. It's understanding that your body, again, there's so much low vibrational energy we're dealing with right now that we're all affected by it. We're all aware we've caused a problem here. We're all participating. This is not about a blame game. This is about understanding and taking responsibility. That our anger and our rage, our judgment, cause effects in our lives. And they influence and affect other people. That's why, in our master classes, they always tell us meditation is crucial. That's why there's, three solid, there's about 18 to 20 hours of meditation and discussion just around specific themes of consciousness. And you should take time every day to get your body into a state of stillness and quiet, to bring your mind to peace. And when you do that, you give that to the world. But quite directly, Casey, lie your body down, be grateful for it. Giving your body gratitude for everything it's doing for you, giving it gratitude, and then saying, you're perfectly safe while you sleep during this time. Tell it. You're perfectly safe while you sleep during this time. And repeat that gently and slowly. You're perfectly safe while you sleep during this time. I am with you. And you can also tell it, as you sleep, you're going to be rejuvenated, revitalized, re-energized. You can tell it that as you're putting it to sleep. Parents will tell their children bedtime stories. Well, give your body a bedtime story before you put her to sleep. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. You actually talk to your body like it's a little child you're putting to bed, right? Because it actually is. do that. Like put your body to bed and just take a deep breath and relax, and you actually talk to your body and you give it information or ideas that instruct it on what you want it to be and become. Because you're doing it all the time, whether you're aware of it or not. Every thought you think, every emotion you have, every consideration that you dwell upon affects your body. Right? Can't separate the two. Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Yeah, meditation does. Understand that as much as you can give in your kindness, in your walk, when you walk around the world and you're being kind and respectful to other people because you really want to be, because you understand that you're affecting not just them, you're affecting the whole. Why do you think Christ said, love one another? Why do you think they all say that? All the ascended masters say that. Love one another. Because when you love one, you also love another. You love them all. Very difficult place for a lot of people to come to that understanding. And you think they're screaming and throwing Molotov cocktails and blowing things up or shooting people or doing violence. You think that's contributing to a better world? Not. But meditation is a really powerful way. My belief is our minds control our bodies, and we control our minds. Yes. But to understand, though, you have to understand that you control your mind too. And you are controlled by another force. You have another force higher than you. Very important. He said, love one another as you love yourself. That's correct. It's very true. Because you are. What you do unto others, you literally do unto yourself. I thank you so much. Appreciate that. Oh, you're very welcome, Casey. Yeah, this was a really good one. I really enjoyed this today. Can I give you a message from your guides, please? Hello, who are you, beautiful soul? Hi, Betty. This is not just for you, Betty. This is for everybody, because everybody needs to know this now more than ever. Sit in love's presence. Make a concerted effort today and every day to sit, to walk, to speak, to think in love. Make that a concerted effort. Make the love an action in what you do, whether you are walking or working or playing. Bring love with you into your shops, into your place of work, into your meetings with one another. Bring love with you, for it is your true nature. It is your true nature. Be as love wherever you are today. Be as love. Thank you. Question from Jasmine. What is the reason for Antares and Merlin being in my meditation recently? Is there a message? Thank you. Well, you know, Merlin was really one of the greatest. People call him a magician. He was not a magician. He was a mystic. And in the last 700 years, Merlin really understood how the function of creation operated. And if you understand that your function of creation is equal to that, which is what you're beginning to understand now, that you can function on a much greater sphere of influence over this world. Not just Merlin, but right now there are rishis and there are yogis right now in the Himalayas and even mystics in the Andes that hold such a grace in them that has prevented this planet from simply falling apart. There are beings upon this planet of such profound love and grace that they hold this world together as equal to those that in their fear will do the opposite. But there are no accidents in experience. But yes, you're actualizing that practice now. Jasmine, you're actualizing the practice of creation. Why was I having nightmares about my dad? Why were you having, no, why, yes, okay. They weren't meant to be nightmares. They were meant to let you know that he's been with you for a long time. He has not left your side. He's still close to you. He still wants you to do what you wanted to do when you were much younger, but have not done. Right? You need to do the thing that you had said you were going to do, but you did not do. You need to do it. The thing that you really loved. He's trying to get you moving, trying to scare you into action. Hi there. When sitting and relaxing, why do I use movements on my sides and nothing is there at all? This will happen to people that when you start to go into deep meditation and you start to shift away from the ego paradigm to your soul, which is a pure function of love, divine love. Your soul is a function of divine love. The mind is what distorts it. But when you're in meditation, when you get the mind and you get the body quiet and calm and peaceful and not disturbing you, not distracting you, you start to access different qualities of energy that are not of this world necessarily. But then you might find your hands start to move in certain ways. You might find certain gestures begin to happen. Certain postures begin to spontaneously unfold because you're accessing different energies that you're bringing into your form, into your world. That's what meditation lets you do. It lets you bring in new energy, literally bringing new energy into your world. That's why meditation is so beneficial. Helps you get out of your ego. Oh, you're very welcome, Lauren. Hi, Kim. Kim's asking, does my dad have a message? He says, yes. I don't know why he's saying this, but he's saying, tone it down. He's telling me to tell you to tone it down. Tone it down. Whatever that is that he says you know what he means. Because you've been going a little off on that, he says. Yeah. It's not something to be revealed to the public. It's something that you know, and you know that he knows. Hi. Yeah. Any advice to deepen my meditation at the moment? Yeah, to deepen your meditation, it's really important that you pull your attention away from the world. You need to go inward. Bring your attention first inward to the center, the geographical center of the brain, and just release your attachment to what you see, hear, smell, touch, taste. Release your attention on the body and bring your attention to the breath. And just stay with the breath. And then when the breath allows the body to get out of your way, then move your awareness out of your body. Move your awareness to a different space. Move your awareness to the middle of the earth. But move your awareness away from the localization of your mind and body. Get your mind quiet. You must instruct your mind in meditation. Say to the mind, be still, be calm, be peaceful. Give your mind permission to be quiet. And in that moment where as your mind starts to surrender, because you're giving it that direction to be still, to be calm, to be peaceful, then you'll start to experience yourself more as you really are. And that's a pretty remarkable thing when you can experience yourself as a soul, not just as a mind body, not just as a cacophony of thoughts and sensations. So yeah, if you want to really deepen your meditations, give the mind permission to be quiet, calm, and peaceful. And then remain in the silence. Do not let yourself get distracted by anything in the world. Go inward to the very most center point in your being, away from this world, away from thought, away from memory, away from anticipation. And you'll have a very different experience in your meditation than you currently have. Well, I need to get ready. I've got a visitor coming, and I want to be prepared for that. I want to wish you all much love. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. When this video gets reposted on my YouTube channel, please leave a comment or suggestion. Any of my live channelings that I've done over the last 6 years, there's about 1,500 of them on my YouTube channel in the live section and in the video section of all the channelings that have occurred over the last 6 years. You can go and like, subscribe, follow on my YouTube channel, do the same thing here on TikTok. And for those of you that gave gifts and symbols and signals of your gratitude, thank you so much for your contribution and your kindness. And to all of you, wherever you are in this world, I wish you much love and grace, that you find peace and remember your purpose, and understand that the function of your purpose will be your love and action. And your love and action will be the greatest gift that you can give to your brothers and sisters in this world and to the very earth itself. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. And I will see you all on the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Bye for now.